Welcome to the South Bronx. Graffiti, garbage, a daily fight for dignity. It is the poorest district in America.
The next stop is
just a 20-minute ride from the wealth of Manhattan. This is the stop for those whose life is largely a struggle. A staggering 250,000 people are living below the poverty line right here. For many, it's a tough life from the get-go. Every second child in the area lives in poverty. Mothers, like recently unemployed Asia, are livid.
It's ridiculous now, and like we all need jobs. I have a child, I need a job. I think that the government could do a little bit better than what they're doing now.
Rap group Rebel Diaz live and work in the South Bronx. They know the district like the back of their hand.
Mike Tyson was in here, DMX, just to name some celebrities, but you know, hundreds and thousands of young people behind bars. This is the infamous Spofford prison.
Broadstars says industrial dumping into heavily secured areas is causing toxic waste sites.
We're standing in front of a mountain of garbage. It's a dump site for the garbage, for the waste of the whole tri-state area.
This, he says, has resulted in a 60% spike in asthma among locals.
I need permission to go on your property, not to shoot through a fence.
Largely an immigrant community, the South Bronx is seeing mom-and-pop shops go out of business, while the social safety net is disappearing.
When you talk about Occupy Wall Street and the global rebellions that were occurring in 2011 and are continuing now in 2012, it's a response to these cutbacks in social services in the interests of corporate power.
Instead, enormous sums are being pumped into projects that are far from a priority for those who live here.
Here you have an $8 million park that was built on toxic waste.
It stands empty in a non-residential area.
Billions of dollars are being misplaced, you know, into the hands of the corporations, of the rich, and it's crazy that it's 2012 and conditions are like this still in the Bronx.
With countless trucks passing through, drugs and prostitution are rampant.
It's bad. It's bad. I know they'll make great jobs.
Here, obesity walks hand in hand with hunger, both signs of poverty.
And I don't know how many hundreds of food pantries in the Bronx, just like this month, got, you know, that food cut out. There used to be 200 people lined up.
Tuesdays and Saturdays look the same here, with jobless people out on the streets all week.
In the mainstream media, what we see is a lot is that it's, you know, it's our individual responsibility, and never do they look at some of the structural reasons behind this poverty.
While corporations play a major role in America's policy-making process, people in places like the South Bronx are left in the gutter.
I don't know if it's coming from Senate. I don't know if it's the president's fault. I can't say if it's like the chancellor or just the district leader, just the people. I don't know who I can blame directly, but I feel like it's a compilation of all of them. Everyone is just like not doing enough to pick us up out of this slump that we're in economically.
Several decades ago, almost half of the South Bronx was largely burnt or abandoned, a result of a downward spiral of economic decline, middle-class flight, and skyrocketing crime. Many streets have by now had a facelift. Just as in plastic surgery, the exterior look may have somewhat improved, but within, the forgotten borough of New York remains destroyed. Anastasia Churkina, RT, South Bronx, New York.